Oh, we are live. He's
We
gone
are
for
live.
it.
I mean, first
Have
of
we
all,
ever done this before?
what in God's name are you wearing? And secondly, thank you very much for Youngie Collett saying that I look like Jerry Adams. Do you want to do it? Do we want to do it properly?
Do what?
I'm hoping, yeah, you do that. The full pod in the dark with somebody else's voice.
Hang on.
Now he looks like he should be on some like late night radio show, doesn't he? Like chatting to the listeners.
And welcome
Give
to
him. What's the opposite of our tune? Like the angry one. Kaiser Chiefs. I put it to riot.
We will not be intimidated by.
That's what I sounded like on the train on the way home yesterday.
We will not yield.
We will not yield. I can't do Northern Ireland unless there's trigger words. Motorcycle helmet, cardigan, murder, obviously murder.
That's very good though. That's a very good Northern Irish accent. That's
our cardigan will not cease.
Jack Thornton.
Our cardigan will not be intimidated.
Jack Thornton's asking, is Bruce just got out of the shower? No, Bruce, would you like to explain your attire for this evening?
DM35 late night.
I'm ready for bed. I think I've either I've got the back end of whatever I got up to yesterday, or Nottingham's given me COVID, or man flu's coming. But yeah, anyway, I got a bath earlier. And normally I've shown you before. I just sort of changed my top half, but I couldn't even be arsed tonight.
Can I just point out, saying I had a bath earlier and usually I show you. Stop showing us. We've asked you. Stop sending those pictures.
I show you that I've changed my top half. Normally,
that's too much, mate. Yeah, boundaries.
Anyway, I won't stand up. I won't stand up tonight.
Podcast to say, oh, what is appropriate and inappropriate dress?
He said, as head of HR, I should know this, but what can I and can't I wear?
Yeah, but did you like the way that I distracted it? What else did I say?
This could have been so much worse.
I blame Sam because he's not here.
Where's your drindle?
That's a very good strategy. I've done that many a time.
Yeah. If in doubt, blame Sam.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
It's what Rishi Sunak did.
So I thought I would. So I thought I won't stand up today just in case I have a Marilyn Monroe moment.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Oh, there they are, Liam and Noel.
Oh, I thought he was on about Monica Lewinsky,
but not an Oasis.
Speaking of Sam, you're all sitting down, aren't you?
We're all comfortable. Go on.
Yesterday, I bore witness.
Sat down.
No, you need to be quiet for this. This needs. Sam bought Auntie's lunch. I was there. I witnessed it.
Wow. And are we talking, what price range are we talking this lunch, Bruce?
What was the location?
Sorry, before we go on, I know that's not what you said, but what I heard you say, Bruce, is that Sam bought his auntie lunch.
Yes, Auntie lunch. Sam bought Auntie's, instead of Auntie lunch, Sam bought Auntie's lunch.
Is that making Sam lunch?
No, that's a one-off, and it makes it a fluke. But yeah, it looked quite a nice place. I mean, we've been to a few places because arriving early, you've got to go to certain places that are open. And then I heard that some of the town fans were in this pub, but my locals said it was one of the roughest pubs in Nottingham. So we went to its sort of neighbour across the road for a bit, and then I cleared off into the pub that everyone else was in. But yeah, so it was in there. So it was a nice place. It was I don't know what he spent, but it must have been £15 ish. I would have thought for a burger and chips. So credit to Sam.
Was it 2 for 1? Was it 2 for 1? There's got to be a catch.
I'm a bit concerned, actually. He has messaged me tonight to ask if I'm going to Oldham, and for the second away game running, he's having to buy his own match ticket. I'm sort of slightly concerned that how old Sam is he? Mid-20s, 24, 25?
Does Sam know?
I reckon he's already drained the inheritance.
I don't think she's heard what he said the other week. You're right. He's been cut off.
Yeah, I think that's Anyway,
you're on your own now, son.
Yeah. If you could afford to go to bloody North America, if you could afford to go to Canada, and you're pleading poverty to me on a Saturday that you can't afford a £10 chippy, then Yeah.
When she finally cuts the string, it's like scene from Lion King where she stands there with her arm around his shoulder and points into the distance. Says, "That's Scunthorpe. You should never go there. You're on your own for the rest of it."
Or do you reckon it was when he was on holiday in Canada, when he was in Canada, and he sent a QR code for a table tour or something? That was the final straw.
It's like spoons that you can hire to the table. I'll accept offers.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry. I didn't realise the exchange rate. But in other news, it was quite sunny here this morning. Maisie refereed the under 10s at Swintringham this morning, and I got to see the future Evan Coreys, and there were some great little players on show. It was great to watch. They all bomb about, and then at that age, they just knock each other over and they get up. There's no whining and diving and no arguing.
You got a red card yesterday, then.
It's probably because you weren't there.
You've lost me. I was there.
Who were the playing fenners?
At Mansfield.
And result for the under 10s?
There were 2 games. I think one was what they did was they split, because it's only 5 aside at that age group with the in the academy, because they all get loads of time on the ball and loads of space, and it's good. So they split the whole squad into 2. So what you do is Mansfield split in 2, and you play 2 games, one against each of the pairs. I'm not sure. They were quite close games, but there was a couple of really nice goals by both sides. So it was it was good. It got me out in the fresh air when I would otherwise have been sat at home, probably starting to struggle. So I felt better all day because of it. But now, like I say, man flu's kicking in. All the men that are in the room will understand. I mean, women don't get it, do they? But
worst thing in the world. Yeah.
Oh, fucking grow up there. Although I've had this discussion with my wife, it has been scientifically proven that there is such a thing as man flu.
Mm.
So don't argue with me.
Anyway,
argue with scientists.
That's my contribution to the chat shit bit. I'll sit back quietly and let you lot chat shit.
How could we possibly overcome that, Bruce? It's all downhill from here.
Just don't ask me to talk about the game.
So what happened? So what happened with the trains yesterday? People were whinging and whining. Did you not get home in time, or what?
I think we did quite well. What happens is, obviously there's the 7:20 was cancelled. There was carnage. I mean, I was sat eating breakfast in Browns.
It was all right, actually. It was carnage.
I was sat eating breakfast I was sat waiting for breakfast. We just ordered breakfast in Browns. We'd arrived nice and early, and we just ordered breakfast. And Bob Smith rang up and he said, "Train's been cancelled." And you know, when your mate rings you up quarter of an hour, 20 minutes before the train, you're like, yeah, whatever. No, it's been cancelled. Next one's at 10:30 or 10 o'clock or whatever. And I'm like, all right, okay, you know, it is what it is. You roll with the punches on an away day, don't you? And you're like, we're already thinking we'll have breakfast and we'll go to the number 2. Anyway,
and then we'll get to the pub.
Then somebody, you know, it happens, doesn't it? If it's happened in Plymouth and Southend when games have been called off, and you just sort of carry on going. But so anyway, but then somebody else rang and said it's not been cancelled completely. You've got to get yourselves to Grimsby. So we've ordered breakfast. It's 22. The train goes at 10 past from Grimsby. So we got breakfast to go. Luckily, Neil had driven to Browns to Cleethorpes and was leaving his car. So he drove us straight into the car park at town. And we sat in the waiting room and ate our breakfast from Browns. And then the train turned up, and that was all good. So, but on the way home, I think what you're talking about, there's about 3 trains that people get there on, and then there's one direct train home. And that, you'll have been before. It's like them pictures you see of India, isn't it?
Yeah, we did. I remember the last time I did Notts County on the train, which was the Omar Bogle, that game. We were on that 5 o'clock train, the 5:30 train, I think it is, isn't it? And we didn't end up getting on it because it was that busy. On these 3 carriages, it got absolutely packed. So we ended up going home via Sheffield, which I think, in hindsight, is the far more stress-free way of doing it, isn't it?
Well, I saw Dan Madsam at grumbling on Twitter last night or this morning about his train journey, and so he got the 10 to 6. We got the 6:45, I think. Yeah, 7:45, 20 to 7, something like that, via Sheffield, because we went to the pub. We thought we just didn't bother, like you said. We didn't even go to the station because I just knew it would be carnage. So we went to the pub, had a pint in Nottingham, sorry. Then we got the train up to Sheffield. And we had 45 minutes in Sheffield, so we went for a pint in the Howard, real chilled out, relaxed pint. You know, Saturday tea time or early evening like vibes in the Howard. And I think we got home half an hour after Dan. And we'd had, like you say, we'd had a leisurely journey. We'd had 2 more pints than they had, and we just apparently it got home dead late. I don't know what happened, but it must have been crawling.
Stephen Dorff just posted on here. If 5:50 train from Lincoln was a mess. Stupid kids pulling the emergency stop. Fuel rest on train. Didn't get back till 9:30. Should have got in at 8 o'clock. Didn't stop at Barnaby either. Dan said as well, it was because it was absolutely rammed. It was sweaty. It was hot. He said by the end of it, it stank of
Sheffield
alcohol and BO. It was
Can I just ask?
It's awful.
As a man of the South, where even a shitty train from Aldershot to London is like 12 carriages long all day, every day, how can the incompetent rail companies not find 4 dilapidated carriages? I would imagine even the Lincolnshire Wolds Railway would donate 2 carriages from the 70s to ram on the back of it, and we can have an old football special.
They put extra carriages on the way there.
Did
But that just means
how many was that in total then? Considering
I think there were 4 carriages. There were 4 carriages on the way there.
Oh,
but it was probably the same length train. So all they've done is brought more people by train that have got to get that one train home. Anyway, look, Youngie, like you say, just to make everybody else feel better, we had a leisurely ride. I sat and ate my meal deal from Tesco on the train with a can up to Sheffield at my own table. It was air conditioning was working. Train was nice and cool. The toilets were accessible. Like I say, happy pint in Sheffield, and then a leisurely train ride home from Sheffield. And I got back into Cleethorpes at Grimsby. I got off at Grimsby because I went to Swagger for a pint. About half an hour after their train. So yeah, it sounds like I made the right decisions in life that day, doesn't it?
I remember my first ever away day on my own was to Nottingham Forest. No, sorry, the correct name, Notts Forest. I don't want to annoy Nottingham County fans. Sorry, Beeston County. And I didn't really know how trains worked. So there was one train back directly, like at 5:30, back to Grimsby, and I had no idea. And my old man, and I missed that one because I went and got a Burger King, and then I got back as far as Market Raisin. It was 2001, Bruce. Stuart we lost 3-1, and Stuart Campbell scored as an opener, and it biblically snowed on the way home, and my poor old man had to drive from Kilby to Market Raisin, always clear open roads, those ones. It was poor guy. I had to walk out in front like a bloke with a red flag. But yeah, how good are dads? David wants you to name your meal deal, Bruce. I reckon Bruce is a Gareth Southgate man. I'm going with just ham sandwich, bottle of Evian, and ready salted crisps.
I had a tuna pasta box.
Someone's watching their weight.
Bag of nice and spicy knickknacks, and
That's a great choice.
Good choice.
A great choice.
And an orange Oasis that I didn't drink because someone gave me another can.
Shall we do what do you reckon all of our meal deals are then? Youngie, what's yours?
If perfect choice, I will have a chicken fajita wrap with a vegetable samosa as the side. Tesco and Morrison's do vegetable samosa, and Oasis. That's what I will go with. Mike.
I'm a chicken club man. Chicken club sandwich. Love one of them. McCoy salt and vinegar and cherry Pepsi Max.
Mine is if I'm going, Morrison's is the one I'll go for. They do a spicy chicken baguette and Worcester sauce for French fries and a Pepsi Max.
Cherry or just normal Pepsi Max?
Those McCoys, Mike, the salt and vinegar McCoys are
they're banging, mate.
They're the best crunchy salt and vinegar crisp that there is. But the problem is, I outweighed that because I thought I'll be eating. You know, with the knickknacks, you get to the end of the bag and it goes on for about another 10 minutes because you're picking the little bits out the bottom. It was definitely the right choice because those sometimes you get them and you eat about 5 crisps. Some of them they're dead big, and then you're like, they've gone. Where have they gone? I've only eaten about 5 or 6.
You know, that's how crisps work. You can do that with any packet of crisps, Bruce. You can just scrunch them up and then you've got loads of little ones as opposed to one big one.
No, I wouldn't deliberately crunch up a big crisp because they're ace. You know, if you get it in your mouth. one go.
Right, roll titles.
Flip that. Unbelievable.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life around there. They're going crazy.
This antiquated main stand, I can feel it vibrating.
Say, they got a penalty here, there'll be fish flying about that. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! This is Vernon! Vernon scored! The supporters are invading the pitch because Grimsby Town have caused one of the biggest upsets in their history.
Love it.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the DN35 podcast. The Mariners are back to winning ways. They've beaten Nottingham County by 1-0. Poor Harvey Rogers gets away with being brutally assaulted, and we will talk about that and everything else. Once again, Nottinghamshire Police did themselves proud, apparently, from what I could see on social media. So if you've got any stories about our brave boys in blue policing the hordes, it would be great to hear from you. Mark Worrell says Bruce Fenwick knows me too well. It'd be a bottle of Pinot Grigio, a mixed meats platter, and some biscotti. I'm more of a what's the big old leg of ham you get from Spain at Christmas?
Like a jambon.
Yeah, jambon.
That's just ham in French. There's no different. That's just ham.
Jambon.
You got to say it in a Spanish accent. Oh, that Spanish ham is.
Go on, Mike.
Le ham. That's French.
Le ham. Okay.
That's Spanish sound. Yeah.
Jam. It's that big leg. You get the big
Mark
leg.
Worrell says it's jambon. Mark Worrell says it's jambon.
That's ham in French.
I can just see you, Alex, in a pair of white pants, leant on a sofa in front of the telly with drinking wine out the bottle, holding up like a whole leg.
Like
it's like munching on it.
Have you seen my jambon?
The idea that it's on the train on the little table, and we're all just slicing off little bits and passing it around like it's a charcuterie board. Someone's pulled off the toilet door and is using it as passing it over the people on this ram train.
I'll apologise now. You're going to be my next pod group AI victim, Alex.
It's Jamon Ibeke.
That picture.
Iberio ham, isn't it? There we go. So yes, I would. That would be my meal deal of choice. Well, we won. Bruce, you were there. Your voice is still intact, which assumes you didn't go completely potty. How was it? And did you enjoy yourself?
It's always a good day. I always enjoy Nottingham, mate. And in recent times, I seem to have picked my games quite well. I don't know if I've been to one since we had the promotion season and we won. I must have done. Anyway, I seem to have done quite. We've done quite well there in recent years, haven't we? In the last 4 or 5 years. Don't get me onto sort of tactics and things like that. I'll let Mike, because I'm not qualified in that sort of area. I've had a few beers. I just remember my abiding memory of it is that Notts County were prime. Why if we don't get in the playoffs this season, it will be an underachievement. They're in 4th place, and I thought apart from 2 or 3, I don't remember being nervous. Apart from 2 or 3 balls that whipped across our box that somebody nearly got a toe on, I don't think they did a great deal. I think we were workmanlike, which is what we seem to have been part 2 of this season. You know, everyone grafts, everyone works, but it's not as attractive as it was and free flowing as it was earlier in the season. Although we scored a really good goal. I didn't think the red card was a red card first off. It looked just like a late challenge, but I've seen you guys again. You've watched it back on TV, and you can talk about that in a few minutes. But it's a 1-0 win away from home at a team that are sitting 4th, and let's go and beat Salford now because they look shite at the minute as well. I don't think anybody's great in this division. So yeah, no, good day. Plenty of fun had. The stories I've already told before the watershed, and yeah, up the Mariners, on we go.
I guess it was succinct. Serrano. Okay, cool. Youngie, your thoughts yesterday on Town besting Nottingham County?
Yeah, a great professional performance, I think is the way to put it. It was obviously set up for the first kind of 60 minutes or so to keep it tight, make sure we're still in the game. It wasn't perhaps the free-flowing football that we kind of were used to earlier this season. And I thought the passing at times was a little bit sloppy. We were a little bit, some of our decision making in the final third wasn't the greatest. But we had good chances, and we had that good chance in the first half through Vernon, and we had them two really good saves in quick succession, didn't we, at the beginning of the second half? And then after the sending off, it was there for us to take, wasn't it? And we did. And as Bruce mentioned, great finish from Vernon. It's one of them ones where the keeper sees it late, but it gets the job done. Rodell look a little bit towards the end, and I'm sure we'll talk about Jackson Smith again, because he is a goalkeeper that saves things, which is, as Sam Barrick said, that is a useful thing to have. But all in all, ultra professional performance. Defensively, again, look really sound. We'll talk about, I think, people like Soon-Suk Bell and how they contribute to that defensive performance as well. But a good result, a good team. Credit to Notts County as well. I thought at times they played good football. In fact, I remember saying it when we played them at home, and saying these are two good football teams for this level. And I think the same was again yesterday. I think if you were neutral looking at that game, you would have gone, they are two good League Two teams. So yeah, loving it. And as Bruce says, massive game on Tuesday night now. Let's get a result against Salford and take charge of the playoff bus. All aboard.
Mariner Halley says Pim would still be going down for that last minute save now. Absolutely. Jackson Smith's inclusion has been wonderful. I wonder what Barnsley are seeing when they're watching him perform as he is, because a lot of their fans seem to be very keen on having him back in between the sticks. But it's been interesting to see how well he's done and how it's transformed the team. Now, Bruce, you mentioned something which was quite succinct and quite well thought of, that we've changed the style of play that we have. Is there a particular reason you think as a group why we're a little bit more, shall we say, Hurst-like in our performance rather than Artell-like?
I just think it's we had to change something. I don't think it's a deliberate thing. I think it feels like we're just focusing on being hard to beat and then staying in games until the last 20 minutes, half an hour, which again, we're not experts, but you feel that that's why he wants Cam Gardner up front. Gardner was in my mind then. That's why he wants Soon-Suk Bell to play the role that Gardner played against Manchester United, just absolutely occupying the defence. And I just think we're just solid. We're just solid, aren't we? I don't think, like I say, I don't think it's free flowing. I think our wide players are inconsistent, which I've said before, the last time I was on. Vernon did a couple of good bits yesterday. I didn't really notice Burns a great deal yesterday. It's the modern thing these days, and I'm sliding off track a little bit, but we make a lot of changes in the front three. The old days, it was all about the partnerships, wasn't it? And getting used to playing with players, and we do rotate a lot. But yeah, I do think we're workmanlike. We work hard. Do you think, Harvey Rogers is a key player in this team? Does that epitomise perhaps our playing style these days, that we are hard to beat, we stay in games, and then we try and get it done in the last sort of 20 minutes or half an hour? Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. I don't think it's deliberate that we're not free-flowing. I just think it's the mindset perhaps that we've got at the moment.
Well, Oliver Johnson mentioned something that you do quite a bit, Bruce, that we miss Jason Daddy's Van Thorson. I saw you put up a tweet about it earlier. Do you think we miss him?
It's just weird, isn't it? I mean, I know that David Artell doesn't talk about players unless prompted, when they're not available. They're not in his pool of players that are available. But I just felt like the other day, I just thought, we haven't seen him for ages. No one really mentions him. And then, funnily enough, Mike pointed out, which I listened to afterwards, that Matt Dean had actually asked to, and got a little bit more information about him. But he came back. He had his operation in the summer that was planned, didn't he? And then he came back. He came back in at the end of September. He started playing, and his last game was he was involved in the draw, the 2-2 disappointing draw at Barrow, and that was on the 8th of March, which is 4 months next week. And we've just not seen him, and he's got a non. And like I say, Mike pays a lot more attention than I do. He'll probably tell me in a minute, but as far as it's just that he's had a bit of a setback, and it's taken him longer because his seasons are out of kilter and things like that. It just 4 months is a long time, and I joked in our group, are we going to get him fit for is he going to be fighting fit for June and July when he's used to playing? It just seemed a little bit odd, and that it would have such an impact. But yeah, so I do think we miss him. I think he was really good last year, and I hope that somebody said we might have an option. There seems a bit of uncertainty whether we do or not, but I think, like we said in the WhatsApp, you'd be amazed if Town don't offer him something, because we've relocated him, we've done all the scouting, and we've put a lot of work and time and effort into signing him. So I'd be amazed if we don't try and get him fully fit and fire him for next season and give him another contract.
You kind of hope he's going to become a vet. Bruce is just done. See you later. Cameras off. Yeah, you'd like to think that he'll come into it as we get close towards the end of the season. Mike, overall thoughts on yesterday's performance and how Town are playing? Do you think the critics, we were answered? Because I was very disappointed at our showing at Bristol Rovers. Is this just a revert back to the norm, or is it a fact that we just struggle against struggling teams, and when we've got teams that we can be up for it and give us a little bit more space and are a bit more attacking, we come into our own?
I mean, I'm yet to be sure. I think we've shown lots of attributes this season which show that we should be able to play against both those teams. To be totally honest with you, we've shown we can do all of it. I think yesterday was a brilliant textbook away performance at one of the best teams in the league that want to have a lot of the ball and want to move it about a lot. I think we set up perfectly. I think as a bit of an Artel masterclass, to be fair. First half, very, very well organised, really well organised. I was so impressed with that. And we won the ball back quite a lot in the middle of the pitch. And if you hark back to me last week, I was moaning about that until I bored you all to death about winning the ball back. And we managed to do that with that midfield. I like the look of the three of those in there. Tory pops up in left back, right back area, everywhere. Corey's got plenty of pace and energy, and Walker's got a little bit more of a bit of finesse about him. So I like those as a midfield three, but with a little bit more calmer heads. Final bit of quality in the final third. I think we had the better chance in the first half, and we could have been 1-0 up. They had a lot of the ball, but a lot of it was in front of us and didn't really do as many problems. First half, I can't really think of anything that's troubled us too much. And then the second half, they've changed a few things. They've proper come at us for 15 minutes, and it's took us a long time to work out what to do. And Smith's had to go down again and rejig ourselves because we needed to have a bit of a break. But we got out of that level, which is brilliant. Well done. They didn't really have too many big chances, just had a lot of possession in the box. And then I think we started to get a foothold back in the game and start to dominate a little bit more and start pushing back against it. And going into the last bit of the game, I'm thinking, no, that's the game plan. We've weathered this storm and we've tired them out, and now we'll get in behind them. And the red card changed the game a little bit, but I was really impressed. I thought it was a great answer to a lot of critics that have been going on the last week. Walsall and Bristol deserve criticism. None of us would disagree with that. But I think some of the stuff has gone a little bit over the top, reactionary, and you have a bit of recency bias, don't you? So I think it was a good answer to that. We're a good team. We went away to a really good team, had a really good game plan, executed it well, and got the result. So all aboard that train. Really, really well done. I was so pleased with yesterday. You know, you can go to games and dominate and win 1-0, but to show a different side that we haven't shown for a couple of weeks, I thought was brilliant. Just so defensively organised. And again, that midfield, I just love that midfield three, because I think it just enables us to break a game up, get our foot on the ball and stop people doing things.
Yeah, I thought the fullbacks were excellent yesterday. I thought on both sides, I thought Rogers and Sweeney did a real good job against tough wingers. You know, Jody Jones on one side, especially. I think they did a very, very good job and got up the pitch as well. Didn't kind of it didn't discourage them. You know, that they were brave enough to kind of get forward when they needed to and have the energy to get back. I think it was great to have Sweeney back in the side. Few questions on here, and I think we've had the kind of conversation as well, haven't we, in the chat, and I think even on the Twitter questions earlier about Soomsut Bell's selection. Now, Bruce, I know that I think Hannah put in the group chat during the game that never heard a kind of louder cheer for when Andy Cook came on. And there was a few murmurings amongst the support about Soomsut Bell starting, but I personally thought he was excellent again. Artell did as well. Artell made a point in his post-match of saying how, you know, I asked him to do a job and he did the job exactly how I asked him to do it. I just thought maybe what your guys' thoughts are. Do we need to be braver in selection in the sense of maybe selecting somebody else, or is Soomsut Bell a good choice for that kind of game?
I think, you know, Artell talks about ceilings with players. Sorry, Mike, I don't know where it was first hand up there, but I think that if you spoke to him, he would say that he thinks Soomsut Bell's got a higher ceiling than Jace Cabia has. I think that they think, and I think we know what they think of Cam Gardner, don't we? And I think we want long term, we want that player that's, you know, like the style that, like, you know, like if you go back and what the few games that we saw, those of us that were going when Martin Pringle was playing, you know, like a slim, athletic player that gets around the pitch like Cam Gardner does, where he can occupy 2 or 3 players just with his running and his movement. Andy Cook's not going to give you that, but he is going to give us a short-term fix. And I think the fans probably, I didn't really hear the murmurings, but I don't tend to hear a lot of the negative stuff. I don't whether I just ignore it or don't listen or whatever. I didn't hear a lot, but there was definitely a get Andy Cook on, but he's got his own song, hasn't he? And that helps. You know, he's people.
Jude Soomsut Bell needs better marketing.
I think if we were harmonious enough to sing "Hey Jude," then we
no, Bruce. It's Soomsut Bell, Soomsut Bell,
Yeah. Anyway, Youngie's gonna work on Youngie can work on his marketing and get out some songs.
We can do that Omar Bogle song. That was beautiful. That Notts County one was a beautiful rendition. So I think we can do "Ring My Bell."
Those who went to Orient that day, we did a bit more, didn't we? We did a bit more with the Alst fans. We did "Rocking All Over the World" and "Wonderwall."
We did, yeah.
So that was a good day out. So maybe I do our fan base a disservice that we don't have it in us to be more creative with our. But yeah, no, I just think with Andy Cook, he's a renowned goal scorer at this level and above, and I think that's why the fans shout for him. They I think a lot of people struggle to get their heads around the fact that your centre forward might not end the season as a top goal scorer, and that is just I was going to say an inbred thing, but I'll rephrase that. That's just a thing that's sort of is in your mind that when you're brought up that, you know, your centre forward. But you look back, and I do it regularly, don't I? You look back to Alan Buckley's teams, and before Clyde Mendonca, you know, Tony Rees, you know, players like that would get 9 or 10 goals a season. But you'd chip in, you'd have your Jim Cockerills and your Cunningtons, and, you know, Dave Gilbert would get 12 or 13 a season. Gary Childs, you know, Tommy Watson would chip in with 8 or 9. So the goals were spread around the team. It's not a new thing that your centre forward isn't a prolific striker. As long as you know, Mike always talks about the end, you know, the team as a whole. If the team as a whole gets results, it doesn't really matter who scores, does it?
Yeah, I think we had a bit of a debate. I can't remember who it was, but I think I was in the minority with the people I was discussing it with, that I didn't think Andy Cook was even the substitution, let alone the player that should start. I like Soomsut Bell, but I'll caveat by saying I don't think he'll finish his career as a number 9. I would love to see him as that sort of second striker coming in off somebody or playing in the 10 or wide. I don't think he'll be a prolific number 9, but especially after watching him against Colchester United in person, really close. And I paid a lot of attention to him. I think what he offers us goes really unsung. He stretches a defence and harries them so much. It is unbelievable. He's getting better and better at competing with the ball. He's got a bit about him. He doesn't get pushed off. I think he got he took a whack at Colchester. Actually, that's why he's been out of the team, because he had concussion. But got up and carried on and played on and what have you. So he likes to mix it about a bit. And I think his control, back to goal, touch, and bringing other players in is coming on really well. So I thought, when you've got that asset, and I also don't think it's a coincidence that we started 7 games and we've won 7 games. I don't think that's just a statistical coincidence. So when you're going away playing the game you're going to play yesterday, I think it's absolutely key that you have somebody that can lead the line in terms of pressing and defending from the front, as we said, and stretching those centre halves. They like to have the ball. Don't get them the time to have the ball, and then we can turn it over in midfield with the 3 players we've got in there. And then once he's run his race, the only substitution you should be making is Jace Kebbia, because you have worn those defenders out for one reason and brought them higher up the pitch for one reason, to get in behind, because that's where the space was yesterday. And if you bring Andy Cook on, it's going to be great if you've got the ball on the edge of the area, building a few phases of player possession and swing it into the box. But that wasn't what we were doing yesterday. That wasn't the game plan. So Jace Kebbia was the right man to bring on and keep trying to stretch that defence. As soon as they go down to 10 men, the game changes, because you're going to have more of the ball. So of course you should be bringing Cookie on and going a little bit different. But I think Sunset Bell is a talented player. He isn't a number 9, but I think he's bringing us an awful lot of assets that we need in that team at certain times. And as Bruce says, I think he's got an incredibly high ceiling from where he's been. But I was definitely in the minority. I didn't think it was a game for Cook. It's very easy just to say, stick the guy that scores goals. But the ball's got to be in the right areas to give him the ball to score goals. And that wasn't the game we were playing yesterday. We were playing a very tactical and technically astute game. Sit back, sit behind the ball, break them up and hit them on the break.
Mike
Cook doesn't suit.
Guardiola has spoken.
Am I wrong?
I'll tell you what we did get, Alex, at one point yesterday. 4-4-2.
And this is the thing, because Mike gets all wet dreamed about all these complicated things. The football that works is 4-4-2 when it comes to Division 4 football. It's all you need. And there is no better stat than the one that I put up in the WhatsApp group this week, where we had a list of all the teams that have completed the most 10 plus passing sequences this season in League 2. Notts County were top with 249. Town was 6 with 139. And rank bottom was Bromley with 19. Runaway leaders on a tiny micro budget Bromley, showcasing football is played in the fucking air and not on the ground.
I'm not against that, but we haven't got the player or the manager that does that.
No, unless we just don't really have a proven big bastard up front, have we?
Yeah, but it's just not as simple as that, Alex. Is whacking it long to Andy Cook. It's not how the rest of the team's set up.
Andy Woodman would say no.
Yeah, but Woodman's also got four 6'5" bloody players in the back line. He's got wingers that are bloody tall and quick. Right, if you just whack it up to Andy Cook, what's going to happen is what we moan about all the time: is a striker being isolated. I'm not saying there isn't a time to do it.
He scored 3 goals in 500 minutes of football.
Who?
Andy Cook.
Right. What's that got to do with the price of bread?
Oh, you're just saying that that's not going to work, and I'm just saying that he scored 3 goals in 500
Whacking
minutes.
it up to... Well, we haven't just whacked it up to him, have we?
Have we not?
No.
Have we not?
No, we played a ball in from the wing, which he backed a striker off on against Bristol Rovers and scored.
I apologise.
No, we had the ball in their corner.
What would we count as a long ball, mate?
A ball that goes long for fuck. You're winding me up on purpose.
No.
Hang on, we've got a professional coach commented by the looks of it. 8:36, 2 minutes ago. I can't see who it is.
It might be.
Is it Peter Reid? I can just see PET.
Peter said, how many goals has he scored in those 7 games? In fact, if Cam had been fit, the experiment with JSP would never have happened. Cook every single time.
There you go then. I don't know why we're bothering. I don't know why we're discussing it.
And that's Peter Reid.
That's Peter Reid. Yeah, and he's a professional manager.
Look how well he did with Sunderland.
A lot of these late goals, I'm telling you, are because, in no small part, to the work Sunset Bell's done.
But Peter Reid says it's not.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, Peter Reid played for Everton for a reason and managed Sunderland for a reason. But
Well,
what I'd
well,
also
Sunderland
say is
really good
Andy
in Everton.
Cook
Didn't he win the
yesterday.
league with Everton?
Yesterday, Andy Cook is not
Yes, he
pressing and chasing the ball down for
Sorry,
90
the
minutes.
camera went
He's just not
blurred. I
doing
was just
it.
trying to sort it out.
Oh, okay. Sorry, mate. Let's get his OnlyFans blur on. Well, Mike, thank you very much for giving us a in-depth lesson. Very much appreciated. I think Soonsup Bell performed wonderfully, and we won. So why would there be negative about it? So that's fine.
I was at the
There you
game, and Mike always sees more than I did. Mike sees more than I did.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you what Mike didn't see. Let's go into controversy corner.
Hey!
Stonewall Red said, Mike, every single day of the week, that guy's get off, send the bastard off, dirty git, could have killed him. Mike was man enough when he put down the phone to Pep and went, sorry, Pep, I've got to go. No, look, you'll be fine. I've left you the notes on the fridge. We'll be back in a minute.
The charges will clear, Pep. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because you successfully hooked me last week does not mean I'm going to fall for your bullshit every week, Green. All right? You rung me up yesterday afternoon trying to do it when nobody else is listening.
You like Jack and Vera, you two.
He is. He rung me up yesterday. He sent me a voice note saying you're becoming very Sam Barrack with all your absolutes.
You are. You were like, that's a definitive red. You've lost your nuance, Mike.
Yeah.
You've lost your nuance.
You two need a Patreon section. People should pay for what you two just with you two bickering. You know, when you're going from work and the missus moans that you didn't put the washing out in the morning or something. Like, it can't be that bad. I'm going to listen to Mike and Alex.
Bruce. But as much as we bicker, it's the makeup chats that I love.
Yeah, exactly.
And the love making.
Throw that robe off, Bruce. It's time to get sticky.
I'm just still thinking about that. I'm just still thinking about my AI image that I'm going to generate of Alex in his pants eating meat off the bone with a bottle of wine.
Can we at least make it more sophisticated and make it like the Iberian ham? That'd be really appreciated.
I'll do my best. I think I might have run out of uploads to ChatGPT. I might have to wait till tomorrow.
Bruce shows he doesn't pay. Well,
it's still a red card.
Well,
sorry, can I just say? I feel now's the time to mention that people should need a pen and paper for the quiz. I want as many people to join in as possible. The quiz will be in its usual spot at the end of the show, but you need a pen and paper and everybody needs to have a go and nobody's to cheat. Thank you.
I'll just get some pen and paper because you've told me 56 times.
I love this. We're building anticipation for the end of the show.
I just like
professional.
Every now and then, the guys go on some sort of. It's clearly their cycle, and they go, right, this is what we're doing for the pod. This is the order. Bruce, I've got a quiz. I'm going to be there at 8:00. I'm not going to just wander in at 8:15 with my balls hanging out. I'll be there. It'll be good to go.
Not on camera.
Not on camera anyway, yeah. But yes. So
that's for the Patreon.
I don't think it's on. I don't think it is calendars. I think Bruce has killed calendars with his incompetence. He's dead.
It will be back.
But look, talk about Notts County's red card. Sorry, Nottingham County's red card. Apologies, guys. I know you don't like to be called that.
Say hello, Finn.
Hi, Finn. Are you just bringing back your dad's tactics book?
He says your dad's a legend, isn't he? All right, see you
later. It's just a note, a dedication from Pep. I love you, Mike. Thank you.
That's where he has all the numbers for his football friends.
Actually, can I just interrupt?
His friends were from within football.
It's just my book of where I write things like I love.
Right. Can I just? This is new. This is a one-off. We won't be able to do this for the next 25 years, right? So I'm going to pose the question for the quiz now, and you've got the next 15 minutes to think about your answers while you're doing other stuff. Don't just sit there in silence because that won't work.
I'm hosting a podcast.
Oh, so it's so this quiz, what you're saying is it's scalable, you know,
it's one question.
We can grow it. We can do it once every 25 years.
It's yes.
Yeah,
it's purely. We could get.
Exactly
there's no point having a jingle because I'll probably be dead by the time you do it again.
Mark it down. 1st of March, 2051.
I'll be 80. I'll be 75. Yeah. No, anyway, we'll see.
You won't get there.
No, I think you're probably right.
Is it starting now?
It's one question, 20 answers. 21 question, 20 answers. You're not allowed to write down more than 20 answers, but you can have 20 guesses, okay?
What's going on? We're
Right,
talking
stop.
about red card, and now we're doing a new quiz.
Right,
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
know.
going to do it, and then, no, I'm going to leave the question out there, and then we'll carry on for a few minutes.
Okay, let's
And
do
we'll
the
come...
What the fucking hell's happening?
Right, quiet down, Bruce. is doing
Okay.
a quiz.
I'll plant this now, and then you can think about it, and you can write down some answers. On the 12th of March 2016, this is good for everybody because we've all been around this time. Grimsby Town played at Nywood Lane, Bognor Regis.
I went.
Okay. Since that time, we have played competitive football at 20 new stadiums.
Oh, Bruce.
Bruce.
I want you to give me the 20 new. I want you to write down 20 stadiums that you think are our new. Competitive? Yes, Alex.
Oh, sorry. You answered it for me then. Thank you.
Right. So you can't have Boston and you can't have York.
Oh, I'll just scrub York off. Right. Okay.
All right. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. You can't have Boston and you can't have York. Right. Let's carry on with the red card.
No answers in the chat, please.
No answers in the chat. Nobody cheating. Nobody googling who we played in what seasons and things like that. Top of everybody's head.
Right.
Right. Let's go with the red card.
Can I give one away?
No.
When you say, is it just every game, even if it's neutral venues?
Competitive fixtures, Alex. That's all you need to know.
As in newly built, not newly. It's the first time we've played there.
Right. It's newly built stadiums. Yes.
Okay. In the UK or abroad?
Have we played any competitive fixtures abroad?
Yes.
Competitive? No.
We've played in Wales several times.
Oh no.
Right. Should we go
Right. About the red card.
Okay. Right. Remember, no cheating, everybody. I've got 2.
I had 1, but I've had to scrub it out because it was wrong.
Oh, okay. Which one was that?
It was York, and then it says you can't have York.
Oh, okay.
I've got 5 so far.
Right, you need to filter though because you need to also be talking. You asked Alex, you asked Mike about the red card, and now I've completely lost you. This is like the classroom when the teachers the kids have just gone. Somebody's walked past. Some fit teachers walk past the window, and the boys and the kids are all just like that.
Don't call yourself a fit teacher just because you're walking around in bathrobe.
My dressing gown. Right. Anyway, red card.
I think Bruce is the sort of person as a substitute teacher that he would have to get another teacher from another class to come in to quieten down the room.
Hang on, right. So to clarify, Bruce, so these stadiums have to have been built after 2016.
No, it's just a new stadium.
Just that we haven't played there.
Yeah.
So, for example, what about the MK Dons?
You've got 20 guesses. You've got 20 guesses. I'm not answering any more questions.
The stadium. We haven't played at the stadium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why
so
are you getting this wrong?
Well, when's the cut off it being new then?
I'm gonna have to learn this to do French. They're new stadiums that town haven't played in.
Do I have to know the name of the stadium?
We hadn't played at Sutton for I don't know how long.
Right. It's the new stadiums.
Your brain in.
Sorry, I will take some responsibility for this confusion. It's the new stadiums that town have played in for the first time.
Right. Okay.
20 new stadiums to town. So town have played in 265 different grounds now in competitive games, and we're going back to 247-6.
Right. Red card because you're boring me now.
Carry on.
Sorry, I was thinking. Okay, so Notts 1 win 7. I don't know what that's about. Says Grimsby were lucky. So red card. Was it a red card? And was Soons up Bell a dive, or was it actual contact and he fell over? Discuss, people. Can I also remind Notts County that you all celebrated murderer Lee Hughes as much as you liked, so you had it coming? Does that help? Is that too much?
I mean, that's a big fishing rod you dip there, Alex. That's
I don't really like people who murder people. Call it as you want, and don't run away.
I might have to do the. Should we do the game now before the pod gets ended?
What? Sorry,
No,
which bit did I go wrong?
I was very sure, as I said to Alex, that it was a Stonewall red when I saw it the first time, because I understand nuance and I'm not a Sam Barrack. I went back and watched it a few times. I still think it's a red. I think it's high. I think it studs up. And I think it's a red card. But I can understand some people may have a different opinion because I don't think it is absolutely nailed on as I originally thought. But I still think it's a red card. I don't think you can get somebody halfway up their shins with your studs in modern day football, as much as we don't like it, and get away with it.
Lee Hughes lost control of his Mercedes and went onto the wrong side of the road, colliding with a Renault Scenic, killing Douglas Graham and injuring his wife and other driver. Hughes and his passenger Adrian Smith left the scene before turning themselves in at the police station 36 hours later. So yeah, not nice. And and last season as well, the handball. Is that the same thing? Anyway,
I mean, we could have started with that one, Alex. I mean, if we were gonna like,
oh, and it was offside as well.
I would have used Lee Hughes as maybe the last part of the argument.
Oh, you want me to escalate it?
Start it later.
You want me to escalate it? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. No problem. So, yes. There we go. I thought I'm disappointed that in the modern day football that is a red. It's a yellow for me. No, I don't think he's. I know you can't prove intent, but I think intent should be part of the law, especially when you're looking at straight reds. That was both feet were high, and it was just the position as his foot was different to Rodgers's, and I don't believe it should have been a red.
We had a side on view. Obviously, and my first impression, I couldn't see where his foot made contact, but it looked just like one of those ones, where a player gets to it first, and the guy gets there just after, and that's what it looked like. We didn't think it was a red, but like you say, it's obviously where the contact is. But they do give them out a bit cheap. I mean, that's 9 red cards that we've had against us this season now. That's ridiculous.
Really?
That must be some sort of record.
I thought it was 10. I thought I read it was 10, but maybe.
Oh, I thought we said it was. I thought we said we'd had 8 penalties and 8 red cards. Oh, anyway, 9 or 10, mate. It does. It's a ridiculous. It's a ridiculous number.
I don't think we had any last season. None. And we've had to me, it is mental. I mean, I think it would. My personal opinion I think looking back on it, perhaps soft, but I get why the referee's giving it. I think if you look at where you see the angle he's probably looking at it looks high, and from first glance, it's probably going, oh bloody hell, he's gone a little bit high there.
And they only get one look in League Two, don't they?
Exactly. So I think sometimes optics are a big thing, and if the optics are that he's looked at that angle, I don't think you can blame the referee for that.
And I guess the thing is as well that the referee's in a no-win situation, because if he thinks, oh, do you know what? Actually, he didn't mean that. It wasn't too bad. It was a bit high, and then he'd be getting absolutely slaughtered. He'd probably get a game ban for not giving out a red card if it was as bad as he thought it was. If that makes sense. So it's difficult, isn't it? And at that sort of speed, it was Harvey Rodgers that got brought down, wasn't it? Somebody said it was. I thought well, I mean, when you've got the pace of Harvey Rodgers, it's the poor lad's not got a chance, has he?
No, he's rapid.
I just think I know he's got his limitations in the attacking quarter, but I just think I'm growing more and more in admiration for him as part of that defence. And I'll tell you who we haven't mentioned, Maldini,
Frenchman.
He just plays League Two, like he's just done it. He's played about 4 or 5 games, and he looks like he's been playing for 5 years.
One thing, I think he's been outstanding since he's got here.
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing that I think went really underrated yesterday was in the first half. There was an unbelievable header that he just got to when there was somebody sneaking around him, and I think it sort of didn't go noticed, but it was such a good header just to nip it in front. I think Jackson Smith then sort of took hold of the ball, but I thought he's an unbelievable header. But I think he's strong in the air. He's good with the ball at his feet. He likes a tumble, and to be honest, he looks like he likes a ruck. And
I love it.
He looks like he's up for it. So I love that man. Not on Doug levels, but I must have a thing about centre halves.
With all the people, all the slating and that he's had earlier in the season, and I mean, we've probably grumbled at times, about what he, that I've said before, that he gets in the final third and he's not. That's not his most effective place, but we should maybe start a campaign. If I can vote against McJanet, maybe have to start a campaign on the pod to try and get him Player of the Year.
I don't think
You must win that with 25 votes, don't you? We must be able to rig. We must be able to rig that.
I don't think it's the worst shout. He's been played all season, hasn't he?
Harvey Rodgers.
Yeah, I don't think. It's
we had this debate yesterday. I think I'm on the verge of, if he carries on this way, he would be my player of the season, because I think he's been brilliant. I've obviously got the criticisms I do in the final third, but as a defensive option, I think he's been absolutely outstanding. And I watched it yesterday and I saw Jody Jones go past him once, and I thought, oh, he's in a bit of trouble here. That's the first time I've seen anybody really do Harvey Rodgers. It's the only time he did it.
I've
thought of one.
I don't think I've ever voted for Player of the Year in all my years watching Town. I mean, I'm thinking that 150 votes maybe gets you Player of the Year. So
that low.
If we can use that family voting that I've been reading about on the internet this week, then surely, I mean, Claire's grandma's not, she wouldn't be sure what was going on, but I'm sure she could write a name next to a vote if I wrote it out for her.
How about if I posit this to you? Harvey Rodgers this year is Kieran Green last year.
Yeah,
I think he's the most improved player this year. He's come on leaps and bounds.
I still can't hear that Greeny chant without it feeling like a piss take. Yeah. Because that's how it started out. It was oh, here he comes, Greeny.
And I do think Rodgers I remember Colchester. I got in a bit of a row with somebody actually, because I think Rodgers gets absolute pelters for no reason. I can't understand it. I mean, there's better technical players in this division and in football in general. But I just think defensively he's been really sound. And I don't understand it. I mean, you can have the criticisms I do about the final third, but he's getting better at that. So from that point of view, I feel a bit like I might vote for him just because I think it would fuck a few people off. Youngie.
I feel a bit concerned. Sorry, Youngie, go on.
No, he's trying to get me in trouble with his dad again.
I feel like we've spoken far too much about football today.
Rodgers' dad.
I did talk about
you weren't here last week. We spoke for an hour and 45 about football.
Well, I'm looking at the time now, thinking it might take me 5 minutes to go through these answers. So we need to be jogging on in a minute or two.
I'm really struggling now.
Well, should we talk about then 2 massive games coming up at home now? Salford and Bromley. Huge.
Right, when it ticks to an hour, I'm going to start the answers. Okay, is that fair?
3 minutes to talk about Salford and Bromley.
Bloody hell.
Okay. Well, I'll say you can. It's a strange one, isn't it? Salford and Bromley coming up, because you've got one team who are a hot, fake, massively in debt project team, who are, I would argue, a failing project team because they're losing loads of money. The buzz has gone off them completely. Wrexham has killed all of their momentum from a publicity point of view, and Man United being shit as well has probably helped that. No, they're on a good run at the moment, but and then you got another team in Bromley who are up there in the top of the league, who have done an incredible job of being run on a small budget and are the archetype of what most teams should be looking at how being run. So
bloody team.
So yeah, but it's a massive week, and I said on Twitter yesterday that I hope, especially Tuesday night, we can make it a real hostile atmosphere for Salford. They're not going to bring any, but they're lucky if they bring 100 people. I know they're doing it. Christine Green put on Twitter, didn't she, today, that there's grassroots offers on for the Osmond and things like that for Tuesday night. Get there, get behind the boys, because this is a massive week. If we can get a win Tuesday night, takes the pressure off Saturday a little bit, and we need all the support. Huge win.
Did I see that? Was it the? Correct me if I don't know which game it was, but either Salford or Bromley that Pete's kindly bought so many pairs of tickets. Did anybody else see that?
No.
Yeah, I'm sure I saw somewhere that I'm sure that Pete or 3Q of Pete, if he's still there, if I haven't upset him, will will confirm that. But I'm sure I read something that they've bought some tickets or something like that. So if that's correct, then fair play again.
Teams? Sorry, 20 new grounds.
Yes, right. Are you ready to start? Have you got some answers? All right. I'm going to read out. I want you to just mark them if you've got them. It's as simple as that. the ground, or the name of the club or the ground. Okay.
Could I just point out then, for when you've marked it, I've left two spaces there, so I've not added them. They're already there.
No, that's fine, mate. I'm doing it on trust. Everybody. Hopefully, some people are going to join in at home. Well, you're all at home.
What you got?
Okay. Ground number 265, Plough Lane, Wimbledon. It's a new stadium.
No.
And it's in a different place. Okay.
Here we fucking go.
Okay. Next one, Slough Town.
Yes.
No, didn't get that one.
No, didn't get that.
Brighton.
Yes, got Brighton.
Sutton.
Yeah.
Yeah, got Sutton.
Southampton.
Yes.
That one that I didn't go to.
West Ham.
West Ham. Yeah.
Kings Lynn.
Yes.
Toilets.
Yes. Toilet. Best view in the ground. Weymouth.
Yes. Weymouth.
I went there.
Wealdstone.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't get Wealdstone.
Bromsgrove Sporting.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about
Who said yes? Who said yes to that?
Alex.
Okay, well done, Alex. That's good, that one. Maidenhead.
Yes.
Right, nobody could go, sadly. I think it was during COVID. KCOM Hull.
Yeah, I've got that one.
Yeah, that was in the JPTs. Technically, it's not a competitive game, but
it
it
90
counts.
minutes of Burnsy slagging Grimsby off.
Salford.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, I didn't put Salford.
Right, we're back to 2019 at the moment. So we're gonna Coventry City.
Yes.
Oh, forgot about that.
Dicked.
Chesterfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Chesterfield. Yeah.
The Globe, Morecambe, new ground.
Yep. Got Morecambe.
No.
Well done. Stevenage. We're back to 2017-16 now, so it's going to get tough. Sorry, Stevenage.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Doncaster Rovers.
Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah.
Colchester United.
Yeah.
Yes.
And your last one that was on the 15th of March 2016 is Nethermore Park, Guiseley.
Yes.
No, guys.
Because there was.
So if you want to tot up your answers, and it's out of a possible 20. Class.
Because there were two that I put that we are clearly not right, which were Oxford's new ground and Sunderland.
I put Sunderland. I put Derby as well. Pride Park.
I have to say these stats have come from Dave Werry, who I trust implicitly.
No,
we did play
Derby in the Championship at Pride Park.
Paul Bolland scored a belter. Paul Bolland scored a belter at Oxford in 2006.
Ah.
Yeah, I put it down, but then I remembered that I was there. So.
And Franchise's new ground wasn't one.
We must have played there before.
No, we played them when I was at school in 2007 with Buckley, I think.
Well, I remember they played it, but weren't they playing at the hockey stadium?
Yeah, I went to the new one. It was 2007.
I went to the hockey stadium. Right, Mike, what did you get?
12.
I'm going to check the MK Dome one. I'm not sure about that.
It was. I was there, mate. It was definitely before 2016.
I think Dave will be right. I trust Dave implicitly with it.
I put everything I have on it.
The other one was Colchester, I thought.
We've got that. I've said that.
You're right. Sorry, we've got that one. Sorry.
And then if you go back any further, Bromley was just before that in the National League, and Solihull Moors, but they're not in the top. They're not in the last 20. Alex,
16.
That's impressive. Well done.
If that's independent, that's impressive. Yes, Youngie.
12.
Of course it's not. You got Guiseley. Of course it's not independent.
Can't you remember I had a fight with Guiseley on social media?
Yeah.
No. Can anybody?
When did we play at Rotherham then? When was Rotherham Stadium?
David Riley got 9.
We haven't played there, have we? I don't think we've played there.
I'm sure we've played the New York.
I haven't been to the New. I would have. I'm sure I would have gone.
We haven't played in the Rotherham.
No, we played at the Don Valley.
Next year, Mike. If we go up, we'll probably miss them.
Yeah, they're going to go down. Yeah.
Let's have a quick chat about that, because something might happen this year, guys, and I think it's becoming more and more likely. So, Lincoln City might be in the Championship next year.
I don't think it's a might at all. It's
10 points clear, aren't they?
Can I give you my positive outlook on it that I said to Youngie when he raised this topic?
At least we might get some decent loan players.
They may go up to the Championship, but at least then we've got a year of watching them get their asses handed to them.
Oh, no, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be like fucking Luton.
That's nice. That's nice, isn't it?
We can't end the show
a nice
on that.
1-0 win 1-0 win. We're on the promotion charge. Alex,
Can
has
we
got
talk
a
about
nice new
Scunny
kit.
again?
Yeah,
And
let's
then
talk
there we
about. Should
go.
we talk
Yeah,
about
it's
Scunny though? Failed
Scunny.
to win. Failed to win again.
Well, I work with a couple of Scunny supporters, and they are nervous now. They are looking over. They're looking over their
Oh,
shoulder because
Paul
it's
Earth is coming for you.
they before the I think before they got beat the game before the Boston game, they'd only lost one all season. They were all like
Boston goal.
it was and now Boston goals. But now, they're on a dreadful run, and especially yesterday, coming back from 2-0 down to 3-2 with against 10 men and still not winning. You love to see it. Love it.
You do.
Wouldn't it be tragic if we signed Danny Whitehall on a pre-contract? That would be, even just to put him out on loan or something,
Well,
just for the
Is that
meltdown.
the new guy that was moaning about not being offered a new contract?
Yeah, they're not offering him a deal. Callum Roberts. Sorry, yeah, Callum Roberts.
No, he said last summer, didn't he? He was asked if he'd had any interest and said any interest from Grimsby. He said, "Yeah, I wouldn't sign for them anyway." All right, mate, don't fucking want you shit. All right.
To be fair, mate, when you come back from where Andy Cook's come back from, I think anything can happen.
Can I also just point out? I don't know if anybody's seen it on Town's social media feed. X Andy Cook coming off the pitch yesterday. Absolute shithouse. Love him. If you haven't seen it, go and look at Town's Twitter feed. Brilliant.
Also, new gates. There's been new gates put up. They look all right.
Oh, they're lovely. They're lovely.
Bruce, what do you
It's
think?
like Scotch egg in it. When's that get you 3 points on a Saturday?
What do you think of
They
them?
do
Bruce?
look nice.
They look smart, mate. I don't know if they left them playing. I did see. I went past when they were being put. I didn't know what was happening. I went in the car. I can't remember what I went to the ground for. I went to try and buy a calendar, and they've sold out. They've all gone.
Did they not keep one back for you?
No.
That's a good one, Martin. Yeah, McAtee interview. Did anyone hear it?
That was good.
Well worth picking out.
It was unbelievable.
Favorite bit, right? Moments for everybody. I want the bits you took away. My favorite bit was him hiding in the train toilet because they'd gone out on the piss after they got promoted in London and they had to get back for the open top bus, and he didn't buy a ticket because the club didn't give him any cash, so he just hid in the toilet all the way up. That was lovely. Yeah, go on, Mike.
Mine has to be the best Chris Doig impressions you have ever heard. He's got him down to an absolute T, and coming in at the playoff final when we're 1-0 down, and he comes in and says, "We've got them. Trust me, they're fucking gone." But it was worth it just for the Chris Doig impression.
I love the fact that Gavin Hollaham replied to your message as well, Mike, and saying,
"Yeah, so obviously something's been doing."
He said, "Yeah, he constantly kept the lads entertained." Apparently, well, McAtee was there.
He did look like an absolute fucking live wire. Like Paul Hurst must have been having kittens all the time.
although it did explain, it did show you actually how much a manager or a manager and assistant, because I also get the thought that Chris Doig is absolutely key to McAtee's progression. Having a good manager that looks after you and knows, I don't think John McAtee would have made it in league football if it wasn't for Chris Doig and Paul Hurst.
Well, there's two people it's a funny one, isn't it? And I agree with you. I don't think it's any coincidence that it doesn't seem that McAtee's been that well managed since he left Grimsby. But also as well, the other one is Omar Bogle, isn't it? I think Hurst knew how to manage Omar Bogle. He knew when to drop him. He knew when to remove him from the scene a little bit. But he knew full well to go, right, Omar, it's your time now. Go and do the business for me. And again, he's another one that nobody else seemed to be able to figure him out since then.
You can see why players move with him. It's not because I think we've always seen it as almost towards the end of his time as a limit of his capabilities of connections and such. He finds his players, he likes who he brings in and stuff, but it's obviously a two-way street in which players, we probably didn't discuss that at the time, where they want to play with him. Bruce, what did you like?
I thought it was quite funny that they wanted him to talk a little bit about Grimsby, and then they tried to move him on to another subject, and he went, I'm only about 5 minutes into that season, and then it went on for about another 40 minutes after that on that season. Have you seen the documentary he's going? There's a documentary.
He covered very little other than his time at Grimsby, and you can tell how much he loved Town, which was, as a fan's great to see. But the Paul Hurst point you're making, Alex, it probably underplayed at the time, but can you name a squad under Paul Hurst that we didn't either have a real connection with or look like they were a group of players like together.
The last
Never had
one.
that problem. No, I still think that wasn't an issue.
Maybe perhaps the first season, like the first full season, but that was like, you can argue that's transitional, isn't it? Yeah. By the way, you just mentioned the documentary, Bruce. Jack messaged us yesterday to say that it's back to #1 in the sports documentaries category on Amazon. So there you go. So thanks to
McAtee. Owed John McAtee a couple of beers.
Yeah, he does. Well, you know where he'd get them beers from? Hooters in Nottingham, because Jack Spring wanted us to also mention that he described it as the American version of Witherspoons, much better and with sports on the telly. So there you go. There's Jack Spring's review of Hooters.
There we go. Aren't we all lucky? Anything else anybody wants to bring up before we move on and we get out of here?
Oh, someone mentioned about Max Crocombe. Lusty mentioned about Max Crocombe's interview as well. I saw it. He said basically if Town had offered him a 3-year deal, he would have stayed, wouldn't he?
That I will always hold this man responsible is completely Sam Barrick's fault.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's completely fair.
It's all Sam's fault. There's your pod title for today.
Oh, that's another one that Big Nigel just said. The equaliser at Wrexham that McAtee scored, he was aiming for the other corner. That's brilliant.
That is amazing.
It's when he describes it though. He talks like he's a kid playing on the PlayStation, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I was going top bins that way, and it went top bins the other way.
It must bring a bit of joy, but you can understand then if Paul Hurst had put so much faith in him, and then the next season why it started to go tits up, because obviously injured straight away out of there, really open and honest about that sort of thing. So you can understand then if Hurst was going to do something very similar, why that season didn't necessarily go the way he wanted to.
Well, the another standout thing was, again, it's not always Chris Doig, but Luton are telling McAtee he's got to have an operation because his shoulder's sticking out, and Chris is like, "No, you're fine. Tape it up. You'll crack on. You're fine."
Yeah, exactly. Brilliant. Well worth digging out. And yeah, we hope to go have a listen because it's a cracker. Anything for anyone else? Are we all good?
That final comment might be a good one to end on.
Great tribute. Oh yes, sorry. Yeah, great one, Marina Halley. Credit to all Notts County fans. It was wonderfully observed yesterday. Great tribute for Cam and his dad, and well done to all involved. And I hope that continues year on year on year.
Do you know what it shows? I think Charles Vernon really did well touching on this yesterday. Is he says that I think the point I would make is lots of people talk about being part of a family and a community and what have you, but I think that sort of really represents that we actually are Town fans. And yeah, full credit to everybody. Him and his dad deserve to be remembered. And yeah, it was really touching yesterday.
Absolutely.
And it was nice that Charles, Charles was very keen to make comment of that in his interview as well.
Good stuff. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful week and enjoy Tuesday. See you later. Bye.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life around there. They're going crazy.
This antiquated main stand, I can feel it vibrating.
Say, they got a penalty here, there'll be fish flying about that. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! This is Vernon! Vernon scored! The supporters are invading the pitch because Grimsby Town have caused one of the biggest upsets in their history.
Love it.